Hello? Y'all, I don't know what the deal is with Blab, but it hates me. So we're going to do an old-fashioned scope hop. I hope that's okay, Michelle. This might be your second Periscope. I was going to put it on YouTube, and I was going to record it all fancy. I had notes and everything, but Blab does not like me. Or my computer doesn't like me or something. I don't know. So I'm just going to problem solve. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to open it on my phone, and, like, it wasn't going out. I tried to problem solve, and then, like, with headphones, it was echoing. So you see I'm sweating. I told my son, I was like, turn the air on, I'm sweating. So I'm gonna problem solve because testing is not supposed to be stressful, even though it is stressful. And I'm not gonna stress out talking about test stress, okay? So now, let me grab my tripod and try it that way, and we can talk about making test prep fun. And now I can talk about what I did with writing too, which was really good. It was a combination of writing and social studies. So hang on one second. For those of you who don't know me, I'm not just a hot mess. I'm Andrea Runnels. I am currently a 5th grade teacher in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm actually leaving the classroom because I feel so passionate, in May, about teaching social studies and helping teachers make it engaging. So, hang on one second. One second. Landscape mode. Okay. Then I don't know where to look. That's just weird. Okay. One second. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should just... Okay. I will not give up. I will not give up. I will not give up. Alrighty. So, let's turn it this way. There we go. That'll work. Now I know where to look. Y'all, I'm about to cry. I'm trying to rig up this little tripod. Okay, and I'm probably like, everyone that's watching is probably like, get out of here. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I want to get started. I want to talk about my topic. And let's do this. Okay, good. Just making sure. I'll get this situated. I don't do well with tripods, but I have stuff I want to show. Okay, my word. Now I'm ready. I'm seriously sweating. This is crazy. All right, let me take a deep breath. Anyways, I am going to compile like my list of ideas onto, it was not cooperating at all. Like I tried and it was echoing so bad, and then I tried to log in on my phone and it wouldn't let me. And so I give up because I don't want to make any more of an idiot out of myself than I already have today. So I just decided to jump on here. So here I am. I just spilled my drink. Oh my Lord. Okay, but anyways, what I was saying, let's start over. I'm Andrea Runnels, and I love making teaching social studies engaging. And to do that, you have to account for all of your different populations of students. So I like to make instruction fun and appropriate for English language learners and gifted learners, because those are my two areas of interest, because I have an ESOL endorsement and I'm finishing up my gifted endorsement right now. So I feel real strongly about making sure that those populations are looked out for in instruction. So I want to talk about a couple of things that I do. One thing that has been a huge hit with my gifted learners this week is increased higher level vocabulary words. I am a huge fan of flowcabulary.com, and I've talked about this before. They have the Word Up units. Well, they call them, they're called Word Up, but they changed the name to vocabulary so people could find out what they were. And I call them sparkle words. And what I'll do is I'll have the kids watch the clips and then write down the words. And since our kids are broken up into 3 classes, ability group wise, I end up having the higher group first. And so what I did with them is I am showing them the 7th grade level word study units, because I told them they're almost in 6th grade, so the 6th grade would be easy. And that's kind of a way to modify for higher level, is higher level vocabulary words, because these are going to help them with their reading and their writing. But I put a social studies spin on them. What I did was I had them write down the words, and I posted the list in my classroom, and just on their word up yellow. So I told them, don't write your words in yellow because you can't see them, because normally I'll say write it in marker, but I just have it on yellow piece of paper, but not yellow writing. And the kids took the words and we talked about how they could make them into sentences with civil rights or the war on terrorism, because that's were our last 2 units of study. And I have a kid in my class who is a beautiful writer. Okay, and I've been doing this during my our 30 minutes of like test prep or whatever it's supposed to be in the morning. I told them I absolutely refuse to do any more constructive response practice with them because they don't need it. Okay, I was supposed to be doing constructive response math, and I was like, there's nowhere else for them to go. It's like with your writing, creative writing is going to help you, learn to enjoy writing. And you can throw in, vivid verbs and real descriptive adjectives and informational type prompts as well. So I want to read you what one of my kids came up with. He wrote on, I said, can I borrow your paper? And I also had them write, there's some sentences on sentence strips and hang them out in the hall. Here's the sentence. MLK conjured a gravitational force attracting people to quench their thirst for civil rights. However, many who are attracted to this magnetic power quench this thirst with toxic amounts of revenge. I was like, whoa. I mean, this is a 5th grader writing this beautiful sentence. Beautiful sentence. Beautiful sentence. Am I having connection problems? Please tell me no, because I would have thought someone would have given a heart for that amazing sentence. Okay. You guys can still hear me, right? Or did my Periscope die too? Because I'm going to cry. Okay. So I was going to say, maybe someone else is scoping right now. Oh, well. Okay, so I was just sharing some sentences that my kids wrote. I have, instead of doing constructive response math in the mornings, or just like constructive response, I had them use vocabulary and wrote down sparkle words, and I had them apply those sentences to our social studies content. And I just read one, and then let me read a couple more, because this student, he is a brilliant writer, and I told him, I was like, ooh, I think your sentences might even be better than some of mine. This other one, after the 9/11 attack, we knew with no uncertainty that the infamous Al-Qaeda created the incident that annihilated the Twin Towers, and at 8:46, the thought of a perfect day were mere figments of imagination, and the saga of war on terrorism began. Okay, if I was doing constructive response, this kid would not have those vocabulary words. All right, well, he might, because he's super, he's one of those gifted kids that's all around top of the chart, brilliant in every area. But each one of the word up units, they have the higher up you go, they have more words. There's 14 words in the yellow 7th grade level that I'm doing, and I told they're going to have almost 150 new vocabulary words in their little toolbox in their brain to use when it comes time to testing. Okay, and really this activity is only taking 10 minutes a day. I'm stretching it and I'm having them, come up with more and more sentences, but you could give them new vocabulary words in 10 minutes a day. Like I said, I posted them on the wall. I'm having them write them down in their power writing notebook. The power writing, because it's that came from vocabulary as well. And let's see, Al-Qaeda was all braggart. Okay, and you kind of have to tweak their sentences a little, because then they get a little carried away. Was all braggart, saying we blew your towers. Even those having having a lavish life were dumbfounded. However, when the vicious group created the acidic plan, they had one flaw. We weren't illiterate. We kind of figured it out, and then their brutal, I can't even read that, something began. So, I mean, that's amazing. And having them do creative writing is going to help them better than just doing test prep. Okay? Because here's my first tip for test prep. Okay? At this time of the year, when you're getting closer to the test, it's not time to tell your kids, you don't know this, you're never going to learn this, we got to hurry, we got to hurry, we got to hurry. Because if you stress them out, they're going to they're going to freak out, okay? That just is not accomplishing anything. Or just saying, I have another teacher at my grade level. These kids are never going to get it. They're never going to get it. Well, I fake it and I tell my kids, you've already learned everything that you need to know. And Go Noodle has really good new clips for test anxiety and like visualization, and I like to use those during testing with my kids and have them just listen to those and think about, visualize their worries. And one year I did something really cool, and I might do this again this year. I had my kids write down all their worries about testing on a piece of paper, and then they just ripped them up. And I felt so good for them to just rip that up. And that might be something I do this year, because we're on spring break now. And when we get back the 11th through the 15th, we have the week for test prep and then a review. And our testing starts the 18th. So I have covered everything in social studies I need to cover. And that is allowing me to be able to not be rushed the week after. So some of my other suggestions, I took my, some of my vocabulary. Yes, I love Go Noodle. Love it, love it, love it. And I also have them do like a Go Noodle to get woken up in the morning. Not like a crazy one, crazy dance one, but one to just get like their blood circulating, because if they're sleepy, they don't do well. And our social studies test is just multiple choice. So I speaking of vocabulary, and I don't work for vocabulary, but I'd really like to. Vocabulary, if you're listening and you're hiring, I'm interested. But anyways, since our tests are just multiple choice, they have vocabulary, they have quizzes, and I gave my kids some of those, and they're like multiple choice, and this is the answer key, of course, and these are structured like a test would be, and they made it was more fun than just doing a worksheet, because first of all, it went along with the vocabulary clip, and also for the Cold War one, I had given them the lyrics, so it made it easier. So that was just something I was, if you're going to have to do, let's get real, okay? I'd like to say, okay, we don't have to do any kind of test prep and testing is terrible. Yeah, but it's a fact of life and it's not going away, so you might as well make the best of it. So I use the things I know the kids like music. I love watching those cheesy testing parodies that you can find on YouTube, and I always find them through Pinterest. And that was something we did like the Thursday before spring break. I asked the math teacher, was like, is there anything you want them to do? And she was like, no. And I was like, let them do something creative. So my kids were brainstorming a test parody, like based on songs that they like. So I thought that was kind of fun to do too. So that's something that you can do, take away the stress. And I do the little sayings, the test sayings, and candy. I do that. It takes too long to cut out little slips of paper to go with all the candy, so I usually just write the slip on the board. I mean, whatever I was going to write on the board, like, you're such a smarty, and give them Smarties, or, Tootsie Rolls, you're rolling through milestones, stuff like that, because ours is called the Georgia Milestone. So that, little couple of dollars, and you can usually, I always get candy that you can split with another teacher. Like a ton Tootsie Rolls, a bunch come in a bag, and like Smarties, a bunch come in a bag. Starburst, you're a star, you're a superstar, you're gonna be a superstar on milestones. So easy. So I don't do like Hershey bars or something. So that's something else to do. Another thing that I do is I brought back my jigsaw. Okay, I love doing the jigsaws, and we did Cold War this time, and so I have picture dictionaries for every single topic, and I needed to finish a lot of stuff with the Cold War quickly, and there are not a lot of details that they needed to know about, like the Korean War and the Vietnam War and the Red Scare, because it's 5th grade level. So I was like, I don't need to spend a whole day on those topics like individually. So we have passages, the close reading passages that come from elementary lesson plans. And so what on Teachers Pay Teachers, and that is why I will never write close reading passages, because hers are so good. I use these for everything. And each group was responsible for, and I went through the picture dictionary with them and told them which numbers they were going to make sure they covered with their passages. And for my lower group, I told them, okay, this is exactly what you're going to tell, you need to tell people exactly what to put on their picture dictionary. And with my higher group, I just said, just find a way to talk to them about what the Korean War is. And I gave them like printouts of PowerPoints. And so that's how we did that jigsaw. I didn't do like how I did with World War I and have them, you know, go learn it with another group and then come back and teach it to their home group. I just had them teach it to the whole class. And that we knocked that out in one day. We covered 5 topics in one day about the Cold War that way. Now, you can't do that if you have something that you have to go into super detail with. And another thing that I tried to do, because basically I had to cover like 50 years in U.S. history in a week. So that was really fun. With my picture dictionaries, with the war on terrorism and civil rights, I have pictures. So instead of me like grading the picture dictionaries like I usually do and, you know, making them come up with stuff themselves, I gave them a modified one and they just had to do the pictures and a short definition. And actually, I gave them these pictures, so they only had to come up with a short definition. And I let the kids use the answer keys that needed to. So that's definitely a modification when you're trying to cover something fast. You have to take things differently. Okay, so bingo is a good thing too. And I'm gonna put my put all this craziness together in my blog post that where I put the fail blab, which I'll delete that and just put the scope here. The bingomaker.com, you can make your own bingomaker.com, you can make your own bingo games about anything. So that's kind of fun. Bingo is fun. Puzzlemaker.com, it's part of Discovery Channel. If you just Google Puzzle Maker, you can find it. And you can make your own word searches or crossword puzzles, because those are always fun for review. And there's also, you know, Kahoot or Plickers or the quizzes, all those little apps. But I don't have time. If you're one-to-one, that's easier. And we're not, so I just don't usually factor in the technology aspect when we're in a hurry trying to cover everything. But bingo, printed bingo cards don't need any kind of technology. And I asked my son, I was like, what is the most exciting thing that you've done for test prep? And he told me a scavenger hunt, and he's in 8th grade, and he said his teacher even took like the PowerPoint slides and put them around the room, and had the kids, gave them a close, C-L-O-Z-E, like a fill-in-the-blank notes, and they walked around the room to do it. So if you can do, you know, anything different, because I'm sure it was the normal PowerPoint she would have just used. And hi, Stephanie, I had a Blab epic fail. And so he really enjoyed doing that, walking around the room and doing that instead of just like doing a PowerPoint. So I thought I would do a survey and ask my own personal student. Yeah, I was having sound problems and I just gave up. And I just like the whole beginning of this replay is going to be a hot mess because I was like sweating because I was so stressed out over Blab. But anyways, another thing that you could do is definitely like include movement. And I have gotten to know Dawn from Social Studies Success through my social studies group, and she actually just got to guest post on Rachel Lynette's website, Minds in Bloom, and she has a really good post for socials for engage vocabulary instruction, and we know vocabulary is a big part of social studies, and she talked about movement in that too. And back when we were doing the Bill of Rights, I had the kids come up with hand motions that go along with each amendment, and we'll see, you know, after spring break if they remember those, because I bet some of them do. So that's definitely something that you can come up with. And like I came up with symbols for like the Missouri Compromise and all that stuff that can be confusing for them, because if you put a symbol with it, like it goes into your memory better somehow, some kind of way. I don't remember the exact details, but it does. Okay, and what I gave my kids for spring break homework is not the choice boards I normally give them. Okay, I love choice boards, but they're a lot of work to grade, and they already had a packet from their their social studies teacher, from their math teacher, and a packet from the language arts teacher. So I was like, I need to give them something that they're going to want to do, but it's going to review social studies at the same time. So I have a set of acrostic poems on my website for my social studies content. I need to make one for like America, like founding of America through Civil War. But what I did with that set, which on that set I have like a template and I have an example, and I kind of morphed, and I also printed it on purple paper for them, so it made it more fun. That's a definite tip. So I took all the little templates and I put them together like Civil War through. I numbered them in order, and I put, like, instead of saying westward expansion, I rewrote it so it's expanding west, it's less words, and then like turn of the century. I don't want them to have to come up with of and the. So I put it together, and then I made it into a project, and I wrote on the front, and I'm gonna add this to my product, or maybe even put this separately for just like $1 or something. I couldn't get the sizes weren't all the same, and it was bothering me, so I didn't post it yet. But I just said, here's what I wrote on it. Use the templates as a guide to make an acrostic book. These just show you what to include. You should put each one on a separate page. Your acrostic should summarize each topic. Number your pages and include a cover, and you can include a table of contents, and you may use technology, blah, blah, blah. Be creative. So instead of them just, you know, doing something quickly or not doing a worksheet, which I'm sure they wouldn't do, I'm having them just summarize Civil War or through globalization by, you know, coming up with words or phrases. And I told them, you know, if you can't think of a word, then you can use the letter of the acrostic as like the second letter or the end of the word. And I was like, no, there's no, I couldn't think of one as an option. So, and I told them that just because it has like the letter C, you're not supposed to put cat, because my lower class, they tried that one time, a few of them. So I clarified, you know, what they would do. So that's what my kids are doing over spring break. And that's basically all that I have. I'm so upset because I had it all planned out and it was going to go well, and it turned into a hot mess, which will destroy my life. But that's okay. I'll just Periscope more and Blab more, and then I won't have to worry about it. But my ultimate goal is to do, what I've been doing is the Social Studies Blab show once a month. And I want to talk about simulations for the next one. I challenge you, if you have good ideas for test prep, since we couldn't share them on Blab, to do a scope and make sure you tag me so I see it. And well, I'll turn my Periscope notifications back on too. So just share. I'd love to hear your ideas for any subject, because I really love bingo, and I put together, you know, I have bingo for writing, like writing strategies that I made, because I just think if you make it a game or you make it a competition, that's even better. That's what I used to do when I taught math and I had a fat math packet. I would make it a competition, and you know what? It's worth buying a treat for them because it gets them motivated, because they get burnt out so easily. So, thank you for watching, and I apologize about Blab. Thank you. Yeah, I swear. I don't know what's going on with Blab. Sometimes it likes me and sometimes it doesn't. I was afraid, I was going to try it on my, the Mac again, but I know I always have problems with that, so, because I don't ever use it, so I did my school computer. I know why my school computer is messing with me, because it knows I'm leaving, so there you go. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope that we have a scope pass thread. I'm going to turn my notifications back on, and you share your test prep ideas too, because Michelle, I know you have some good ones. Thank you for watching, and I know Stephanie from Testing in Room 6 has some good ones too. She's been sharing them on Snapchat. I've been all over Snapchat, so that's where I've been. I haven't been on Periscope, because Snapchat is just easy. It's quick. So, I think my username is probably the same as it is here, runitrunnels. I know it says Andrea Runnels. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.